All right, guys, so here is my raw attempt at the ACT math. So we'll kind of see how it goes. There is a possibility that there may be some on here that I do not know. So if that's the case, we'll kind of pause and then go back to it. But let's take a look. First off, looking at number 1. See, Cameron took 4 tests and his scores were as follows: 100, 60, 80, and 30. Cameron took another test that scored X. The mean score of the test, 5 tests he took is 72. The value of X. Okay, so we need to get an average. Mean, that means average, of the 5 tests should equal 72. So that means that if I take all of the tests, add them together, and then divide them by 5, then that should give me 72. So let me just use my calculator. 100 plus 60 plus 80 plus 30 gives me 270 plus X divided by 5 equals 72. If I multiply both sides by 5, 72 times 5 is 360. So that would give me 270 plus X equals 360. And then I can subtract 270 from both sides. Here, let me put in my math that I'm doing here. Multiply by 5. Here I'm going to subtract 270. And 360 minus 270 is 90. So that should be what I'm looking for. Looks like that's one of my options. And so hopefully that's the right answer. We'll see. In the Venn diagram below, circles S, C, and P represent farms raising sheep, cows, and pigs respectively. How many of the 47 farms represented do not raise cows? So here's all the cows. All the ones that don't raise cows would be these ones. And so 12 plus 2 plus 5 looks like that would be 19. Okay. Marker designs a spinner wheel that has exactly 4 sections, blue, green, red, blue, green, and yellow. He wants the spinner to have a 25% chance of landing on each section. Let's see. He spins the wheel 500 times. The results are shown below. Let's see. Based on the results of in this table, which of the following changes would be the best fix? So he wants them to have a 25% chance for each. And we can see that this one, blue, is pretty big, and red is pretty small compared to the others. And so if we want to make them more equal, that means I'm going to need to make the blue one smaller and the red one bigger. So let's see if we find an option that says that. Let's see. He should decrease the area of the red section by increasing the area of the blue. No. He should increase the area of the red by decreasing the area of the blue. Okay. That sounds more like it. He wants to increase the red by decreasing the blue, which is what we want. We want the blue to go down, we want the red to go up. So there we go. Let's see, number 4. In ABC, A and C are congruent. Find the measure, and the measure of B is 143.6. What's the measure of A? So in a triangle, all the angles add up to 180. So if B is 143.6, we can add that with A and C. But it also tells us that A and C are congruent, which means the same. And so I could say instead of A plus C, I could say that that is just 2A because these are the same. A plus C would be 2A. So I've got 180 would equal 143.6 plus 2A. Subtract 143.6 on both sides. So let's see, 180 minus 143.6 looks like 36.4 would equal the 2A, and then I need to divide by 2. And dividing that by 2 gives me A equals 18.2 degrees. Okay. Number 5, which one expression is equivalent to x squared minus x minus 30? So let's see, since A equals 1, I can do the x squared, it's negative 30 on top, negative 1 on the bottom. The numbers that multiply to negative 30 and add to 1 would be negative 6 and 5. So I find the one that has negative 6 and 5, which is C. Which of the following matrices is equal to 5 times this matrix, negative 4, 2, 0, negative 5? We just learned this, that we just need to basically multiply 5 times all of those. And so that would be this one. 5 times negative 4, 5 times 2, 5 times 0, and 5 times negative 5. Let's see. Purchased some tickets and snack vouchers for an upcoming event, gave them to the members of a work group. Each member of a work group received the same number of tickets and the number of snack vouchers. The total number of tickets she gave to her group was 30. The total number of snack vouchers was 75. Okay. So let's see. Each member of her work group received the same number. And the total number of tickets was 30. So let's see. We have some tickets plus some snacks that equals a total of 30. Total number of snack vouchers. Wait a minute. Oh, nope, I'm reading this wrong. She gave total number of tickets. So she gave 30 tickets. And then the total number of snack vouchers was 75. So she gave 75 snack vouchers. Okay. She gave the same amount to everybody in her group, and she wants to know which of these numbers could it have been. So if we had 10 members, then they would each get 3 tickets, but they can't all get the same amount of snack vouchers because 75 is not divisible by 10. So that wouldn't work because it'd be 7.5, but that doesn't work. If it was 15, then each one could get 2 tickets. And then 75 divided by 15 is 5, so they could get 5 snack vouchers, and so then everybody would get the same. So it looks like 15 is a good option, because if there was 25, 30 wouldn't go into 25, and if it was 30, each one would get 1 ticket, but the snack vouchers wouldn't work out. So 15 should be the correct answer here. Okay. Let's see. Initial speed of certain cars skids to a stop can be estimated by multiplying length of the skid in feet by 35. So if I take the length and I multiply it times 35, and taking the square root of the product. So we want the square root of that. Okay, initial speed an hour when it takes a 108-foot skid. So I would take the square root of 35 times 108. 35 times 108. Let's see, we've got 3,780. Okay, let's see if we can divide or split that into anything. Looks like my options are 6, 7, and 2. So let's see if I can take out 49 from that number. Nope. How about 36? Okay, good. I can split this into the square root of 36 and the square root of 105. And the square root of 36 I know is 6, so that would give me 6 square root of 105, which is option H. To number 9. If 6y equals 5x minus 1, then x equals. So let's see, if I've got 6y equals 5x minus 1, basically the idea is to get the x by itself, and so I'd start by adding 1. That would give me 6y plus 1 equals 5x. Then I need to divide both sides by 5 to cancel that out. And so this right here is what I'm looking for. 6y plus 1 over 5 should be our option there. Number 10, a boat is traveling at a speed of 30 miles per hour. What is the boat speed in feet per second? So I've got 30 miles per 1 hour. And I know that in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. And in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. So we're trying to get seconds. But we also need feet. If I'm got 1 mile, then it needs to be 5,280 feet. So we're gonna take our 30, divide by 60 again, and multiply by 5,280, and that gives me 44. The hours cancels out, minutes cancels out, seconds doesn't cancel out, nope. Miles and miles cancel out, and so what I've got left is feet per second. And so that is 44 feet per second. All right, number 11. Object is launched vertically at 30 meters per second. Let's see, from a 55 platform. Okay. So 3 seconds after launch, we're going to use this equation where it says that t is the time. And so we would say this is negative 49, nope, negative 4.9 times 3 squared plus 30 times 3 plus 55. And I'm just going to put that in my calculator just like that. So negative 4.9, 3 squared plus 30 times 3 plus 55 gave me 100.9. So hopefully that's the right answer there. Let's see. Number 12. Whole numbers 1 through 30 are each written on a separate piece of paper. Those 30 pieces were put into a jar. One piece will be randomly drawn from this jar. What is the probability that this piece of paper will have a prime number written on it? So we need to know how many primes there are 1 through 30. So let's see, that would be 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. I believe that's it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of the 30 numbers. So that would be 10 out of 30. For an angle with measure A in a right triangle, so we've got a right triangle. Sine is 5 over 13. Tan is 5 over 12. So for this, we need to remember the SOH-CAH-TOA relationships. So let's see, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Tan is opposite over adjacent. What we're looking for is cosine, which is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So I can find the hypotenuse by finding the denominator of the sine, and I can find the adjacent by finding the denominator of the cosine. So that would be 13 over 12. Nope, got that backwards. 12 over 13. So that should be A. Which of the following values, if any, of the y value of the solution set to the system of equations? Okay, so let's see, we've got a system of equations. One way to solve these would be to substitute, or we could eliminate. So let's see, if I multiply this one by 2, that would make it 4x minus 2y equals 14. And then I'll bring over the other one, negative 4x plus 2y equals 2. Then I can add these two together. 4x minus 4x cancels out, and also so does negative 2y plus 2y. So that'll give me 0 over here equals 16, which is not true. So that tells me that there is no solution to this problem. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to y plus 3 to the power of 3? Okay, so y plus 7 to the power of 3 would be y plus 7 and then 3 times. So let's start by just multiplying together 2 of them. This would give me y squared, and then 7y, and then another 7y, and then 49. So that's y squared plus 14y plus 49. And then I'll bring down this other multiplication here, times the y plus 7. Let's see. So this is going to give me y to the power of 3 plus 7y to the power of 2 plus 14y to the power of 2. Let's see. Which honestly, from there, I don't even have to really do the rest, because 7y to the power of 2 plus 14y to the power of 2 would be 21y to the power of 2. And the only one that I see that in is this right here. And so A must be the right answer. Number 16. The sum of 3 positive integers is 180. The ratio is 532. What is the value of the smallest of the integers? Okay, so let's kind of go through them. If it was 18, then let's see, if there's 2 to make 18, then 1 is 9, So 3 nines is 27, 5 nines is 45. Those I don't think will add up to 180. Those add up to 90. If we add those together, it equals 90. Well, I needed to get to 180, so what if we double our initial number? Let's try a 36. So it's 36 for 2 of them, then 18 would be 1. 3 of them would be then 54. And then 5 of them would be 90, and those do, I believe, add to 180. Yeah, so then it should be G. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to this? Let's see. So I've got x squared minus 6x squared. That should be negative 5x squared. So it's going to be one of those two. And then, let's see, the minus should make this a negative 4xy. So I'm thinking it's probably A, just to be sure. Negative y squared minus negative y squared. Yep, that would cancel out. The minus would make that a negative, or make that a positive, and those would cancel out. So it should be A. Either I is the square root of negative 1. What is the square root of 9 plus the square root of negative 16? So let's see, square root of 9 is 3. And then this would be I root 16, which the square root of 16 is 4. So this would be 3 plus 4i. Oh, there we go. First 5 terms of an arithmetic sequence are 7, 21, 35, and 49, and 63. The nth term of the sequence, what is the value of 20 and t25? Let's see, so from here to here, looks like we're either multiplying by 3 or adding 14, but then for the next one, yep, looks like we're adding 14. So we're going to be adding 14 for every next term, but we start with 7. So let's see. I don't know how to explain this to you guys to make it make sense, but I believe that should be the correct formula. So if I put in 7 plus 14, 24, that should give me that. Okay. If you need an explanation on how to get this, I can probably try to explain it better in person, but I'm going to move on from there. I put in 25 there, 7 plus 14, 25 minus 1. And then that gave me 343. All right, number 20. Let's say the flagpole casts a 9-foot-long shadow in a nearby 4-foot-tall fence. Okay, so let's see, if I've got this flagpole that's got a 9-foot shadow, and then this one's a 4-foot tall and casts a 2.4 shadow. Let's see, these should be similar triangles because they're both gonna have right angles here, and then they both will have similar angles, I believe, because it's the same time of day. So then, let's see. We should be able to solve this with the proportion. 9 to 2.4 would be x to 4.0. So then multiply 9 times 4 is 36 equals 2.4 times x divided by 2.4, and 36 divided by 2.4 is 15. So H should be the correct answer there. Okay. Rectangle ABCD shown. Segment BE and CE partition the rectangle into 3 triangles. Given DE equals 7, B equals 26, C equals 25. What is the length of BC? So BC is what we're trying to find. Let's see. What are we trying to do here? So this is a rectangle. It means all these are right angles. So I guess we can start doing the Pythagorean theorem, which is the a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I could use the 7 and the 25 to say that 7 squared plus b squared should equal 25 squared. 25 squared is 625. 7 squared is 49 plus b squared. 625 minus 49. So b squared would equal 576. I could take the square root of that. And that's 24. So we now know that this length is 24. Also means that this length has to be 24 because it's a rectangle. So then if I can find the length of this side over here, then I should be able to add them together, and that would give me the same length as this because, again, it's a rectangle. So I can say that a squared plus 24 squared equals 26 squared. Now I'm using these side lengths with the Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus 424 squared we just found was 576. And then 26 squared is 676. So if I subtract 576, that should give me a squared equals 100. And then a would have to be 10, because the square root of 100 is 10. And so if a equals 10, then this whole length would be 17, which would be the same as this length, so that should be 17. Okay. The ratio of concentrated solution to water, 3 to 40. How many cups of concentrated solution will be added to 5 gallons with the given ratio? Let's see. Oh, I gotta pause my video.